Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? It's your man Zen Master, coming live and direct. We're gonna drop the beat down so y'all can hear me, I can hear you, etc. Hope everybody's doing well. We're here to celebrate. It's a celebration. Pardon me while I do that with the volume. All right, y'all. Zen Master on the mic. Let's see, we got a delay on YouTube. I'm just gonna do a quick sound check while I wait for the delay to catch up. All right, everything is pumping on YouTube. I hope you're all doing well once again. It's your man Zen. We are gonna take a look at today's game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and New York Jets. It just wrapped up here about 20 minutes ago. If you're from where I'm from, you definitely saw this game today. And that is Western Pennsylvania, born and raised, right? So, just a little FYI, I'm from Johnstown. Grew up a Steelers fan. The doctor slapped me on the ass. And I said, here we go, Steelers. Just how it is where I'm from. It's kind of a religion. If you know, you know. So without further ado, today we had the debut of former NFL MVP, multiple-time NFL All-Star, All-Pro rather, former Green Bay Packers legend who was graded or acquired by free agency by none other than the team that we played today, the New York Jets. Rodgers landed in New York 2 years ago, probably 2 years ago this week, given that the season starts on the same week every year. And on the first play of that game, his first game as a New York Jet, Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles heel. New York fans had to sit and wait for another season for him to rehab before they finally got to see him. And then anyone who recovers from a major injury can tell you there's a process of healing that is beyond the physical part of it. It's mental, and trusting that healing process and trusting that you're recovered so that you can play like you used to. And you can see early last year that Rodgers didn't have that confidence that he used to, but towards the end of the season, it grew and grew, and finally we started seeing something like what we were accustomed to seeing Aaron Rodgers. One of the things that I've recently learned, especially about the Achilles heel as a basketball fan, is that Achilles surgery has become almost like Tommy John surgery in baseball, where these guys go get their Achilles repaired and they actually come back with a stronger Achilles before they had the surgery. This is a formerly devastating injury that used to take athletes' careers. Now we have basically a Tommy John surgery for the Achilles that makes you better once you recover from it. That to me is very good news. I'm a huge NBA fan, a huge Tyrese Halliburton fan, and a huge Jason Tatum fan. Two of my guys went down to Achilles, so I can relate to what this injury is like. Now here we are with Aaron Rodgers, a year off of recovery, having played a full season, and I'm sure that Aaron Rodgers is feeling way more confident about his gameplay, having a full offseason with the Steelers, and a full regular season last year with the Jets to work that out. What we saw today was Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't like a shadow of Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't like a ghost of Aaron Rodgers. We saw the actual Aaron Rodgers today, and it was spectacular. It was spectacular. DK Metcalf showed up big time on offense. We can say, were it not for those two, and I'm sorry for the background noise, I'll mute that as quickly as possible. We can say that if it were not for those two, DK Metcalf and our quarterback Aaron Rodgers, I don't know where we would have got our offensive production today. Calvin Austin was also big. Jaylen Warren was nothing special out of the ground game today. But that passing game with Rodgers and Metcalf was special. As we go to the screen share, we're going to take a look at the stats today for the Steelers. I'll probably need to move. I'm just fine. All right. Here we are on ESPN. And I wish I could remember what the hell ESPN stood for. I know it's something sports network. Let me know in the chat if you know what the hell ESPN stands for. That's something we should probably all know before it disappears. But we're going to go to the box score for this game. Again, the final score was 34-32. Many lead changes. You can see the final score at the end of the first was 9-7. 10-10 basically made it 19-17. There were lead changes in between. Then the Jets came out, were the only team to score in the third. They scored 7. Steelers scored 17 points in the fourth quarter, something we haven't seen in a while. And the Jets were only able to score 6. So the Steelers defense got better as the game went on, thank goodness, because they were absolutely absent for most of the first 3 quarters. And we'll touch on the Steelers defense here in just a little bit as we look at the box score from today's game. All right, Aaron Rodgers, 22 of 30 today, 244 yards for an average 8, 4 touchdowns. Can't beat that with a baseball bat. 4 sacks for 26, a QBR of 136.7. Justin Fields, excellent game by Fields. Again, he's never going to kill you with deep passes, but between his legs and his short game, he can be sort of a Jalen Hurts kind of figure, given the right set of circumstances. The Jets had every chance in the world to win this game, y'all. Every chance in the world to win this game today. They just flat out blew it. They played a great game. The Steelers defense looked pedestrian against this team most of the game. And look at Breece Hall, 19 carries for 107 yards. Most of that was on 17 carries in the first half. He was killing them. He was absolutely killing the Steelers. Justin Fields, 12 carries for 48 yards as well. So you can see Fields was highly productive, a total of 266 yards between passing and rushing for Justin Fields. Total yards, Fields greater than Rodgers in this case, but sometimes with a quarterback, what matters is passing and touchdowns more than running. Justin Fields, I think, is on the right trajectory. I think he's about to turn a corner as a professional quarterback. Connecting with Garrett Wilson today for Fields was huge. You can see Wilson had 7 receptions for 95 yards. Big day for him getting back with his Ohio State teammate. That is going to give Justin Fields a lot of comfort to move forward. Breece Hall was special today. Like I said, 19 carries for 107 yards. He also had 2 receptions for 38 yards. So big day for him, a total of 145 yards for Breece Hall on the ground and the air. New York did have a strip fumble. Xavier Gipson lost, turned it over to the Steelers. That was really the difference in the game. As you can see, the Steelers recovered their own fumble. They fumbled one. Caleb Johnson fumbled, but evidently got it back. Juan Thornhill recovered a fumble, but the Steelers fumbled twice, recovered 3 for a +1 in the fumble category. Still not a great game defensively or in terms of fumbles, but we'll take it. We'll take it. At least in this case, Jaylen Warren wasn't the one who fumbled. I'll take that. All right. So let's look at the Pittsburgh defense now. Oh, before we go on, we talked about New York's receiving and rushing. Let's talk about Pittsburgh's receiving and rushing. Rushing, again, was anemic. Jaylen Warren, 11 rushes for 37 yards, a long of 9. It was pathetic, man. It didn't feel like they were even trying. They got to get better at rushing the ball. Kenneth Gainwell, 7 rushes for 19 yards, also not great. Rodgers, we're not even going to talk about. And Caleb Johnson, 1 rush for -2. A total of 53 yards on the ground for the Steelers. The Jets had 182 yards on the ground. That is obviously going to have to change. Yeah, we definitely did not beat them in total offense today. Definitely did not. Steelers receiving core beat them in total offense, but overall, no. Steelers offense did not do a thing. In terms of receptions, DK Metcalf had the long of the game for 31 yards for the Steelers. Calvin Austin had a beautiful 30-yarder. Pat Freiermuth, 3 for 28. Gravonic, 1 for 22. Jaylen Warren, 2 for 22. Jonnu Smith, 5 for 15. Kenneth Gainwell, 3 for 4 on or through the air for Kenneth Gainwell, 3 for 4. Touchdowns, Calvin Austin scored, Skorvonic scored, Jaylen Warren scored, and Jonnu Smith, all touchdown receptions from Aaron Rodgers. But I got to tell you, folks, were it not for that passing attack, which is only going to get better, I got to tell you, I feel really, really good about this passing game, and that should eventually open up things for Warren. I feel like the Steelers offense would benefit from a power back. I don't think we have one. So they're going to have to probably work more play action with Warren to give him more open lanes so that he can go between tackles. Otherwise, teams are just going to edge rush and contain Jaylen Warren. They're going to force him up the middle. So you got to do something to get Jaylen Warren yards up the middle. He's small. He's not a power rusher. You got to do something. That has to happen. The rest of these guys, they're young. They're learning. I'm only going to worry about Jaylen Warren when it comes to the backs right now. Pittsburgh defense, like I said, nobody did a damn thing special today. We did see one strip fumble by, oh God, I can't remember. I think it was, well, the recovery was Skorvonic. Trying to remember who the strip fumble was by, but I can't right now. And then at the end of the game, first of all, TJ Watt completely quiet, completely silenced in this game. Didn't hear from TJ Watt the entire game. I swear, nothing. All right. He had 5 total tackles, 3 solo tackles, no sacks, 2 tackles for loss, but it was like he didn't even play. Chuck Clark, 8 total tackles. Highsmith, 8 total. Patrick Queen, 8 total tackles. Give those guys credit. And I mentioned Jalen Ramsey, who came up big at the end of the game with 2 key plays. One, a pass deflection on the left side of the field. Read it perfectly, practically played wide receiver himself. And then on the Jets' last offensive possession of the game, Jalen Ramsey laying the wood on a Jets receiver who coughed it up on 4th and 3rd. And that was the ball game, folks. That was it. Steelers walked away victorious 34-32. Special teams was good for the Steelers. I'm not going to say that they weren't. They were actually pretty good today. And I would say that's probably where the game was won. But New York had, a total of 206 net return yards. We had 165 net return yards. We just didn't give up the ball to a strip fumble on a kick return. That's what happened to the Jets. And that is obviously the difference in this game because the Jets dominated offensively. Steelers offense was good, not great. I'm going to give the Steelers offense a B-. That rushing game is anemic. They're going to have to fix that. That's going to be Mike Tomlin's challenge here for the next week, is to come up with some schemes to get that, get Jaylen Warren going. But other than that, man, once this offense gets to really, really clicking, you can see it's going to be special sauce between Rodgers, Metcalf, Austin, and Warren. Then you throw in Jonnu Smith, who came up big today, Pat Freiermuth, who always comes up big, and I'm comfortable. I was worried about the left tackle situation because last year was kind of ugly with the left tackle, but I think we have enough jumbo guards. Well, not jumbo guards, but jumbo tackles that if we need to stack an extra tight end on the left side to protect, we're okay with that. Sorry for all that fumbling, but I think that's what the Steelers are going to do to protect Rodgers' blind side. And as long as we protect Aaron Rodgers, we're in this thing. The defense today really worried me. You gave up 32 points to the New York Jets. You gave up 107 yards to Breece Hall, most of that on 17 carries. You could barely stop Justin Fields. He was 16 for 22. Do better, guys. This game should have been 34-16 at best, at very best, and you let them score 32 points. Like I said, Steelers for life, do better. The man Zen Master signing off for Pass the Joint. We're going to do these for the Pittsburgh Steelers every single week, whether we feel like it or not. I am paying for the NFL now. So you damn right I want a return on my investment. Salute the game, gang. And we'll see you on the next go round. Deuces.